Hey, what's up, guys? I am the King of Frogs, aka KOF. Today we're going to be doing a tier list of college frat drinks. Now, these are some alcoholic beverages that you guys may remember or may have seen at colleges, at college parties, where you got frat boys running around going wild, breaking folding tables, doing shots of Jaeger back to back to back. You know how frats are. Today we're going to be ranking. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different alcoholic drinks that I've seen quite a bit at these frats and other just college parties. Generally used by people in between the ages of 18 through 25. So let's start right off with this tier list. First, Fireball whiskey. So I guess if you're getting introduced to whiskey at a young age, you're probably gonna go for Fireball. But then as soon as you have your first shot of Fireball, you're like, oh, this shit's loaded with sugar. I guess whiskey is just loaded with sugar. And then you go and have like a shot of Jack Daniels or a shot of Jim Beam, and you're sitting there like, "Ooh!" You have to bite on a strip of leather. But yeah, Fireball. It's I'm not really a big fan of like sugary liquor, so definitely not S or A. But Fireball, I mean, it's a college frat staple. I know a lot of people that like it. I'd put it at C tier just because it's not as good as some of the other stuff on this list that's going to be at B tier. That's pretty average. Next we've got Jungle Juice, or I guess not Jungle Juice, Four Locos. Four Locos in general, but Jungle Juice is the best one. Four Locos are malt liquor beverage that have super high ABV, and college kids like them because you can only drink 1 or 2 and then you're slammed, as opposed to having to drink 10 or 11 beers in a night. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it tastes like shit. It just tastes like shitty malt liquor. They're loaded with sugar. So as soon as you hop into the Uber, the passenger seat tire is gonna pop as you gain fucking 50 pounds drinking some of those things. But it's, I mean, it gets you drunk if you're just drinking to get drunk. But if you're drinking because you like the taste of alcohol, you're not gonna be drinking Four Locos at all. I'd put it probably at a C tier as well, just because it doesn't taste absolutely horrid, and it does serve a purpose, aka getting college kids drunk. Alrighty, next up we've got Twisted Tea. Twisted Tea is kind of weird because I looked it up a couple times, and Twisted Tea is actually a beer. But, I mean, it's tea, apparently. But it doesn't taste like tea. Like, the people that were brewing it twisted the fucking titties off of this tea, man. It's, like, I mean, I see it at frats a lot. I see people drinking it a lot. Like, younger people especially. Because, I mean, it's easy to drink, it's sugary. I mean, it tastes kind of like tea, but not really. It tastes more like an artificial tea flavoring that they've just put in the beer and they called it a day. They're like, oh yeah, kids are gonna drink this. But, I mean, if you're drinking Twisted Tea, you're pretty much just drinking beer with sugar in it and tea flavoring. Even though I'm pretty sure they actually do use real tea. So I'd put this at better. It's definitely better than Fireball, but I don't know if I want to put it in B tier. I'll put it in B tier for now, and I might come back to it. And I'm also going to put the Four Loko in front of Fireball, just because Four Loko, I mean, Fireball's just weird. I mean, it doesn't really even taste like whiskey. It tastes like a whiskey flavored spirit that has cinnamon in it. But next we've got Crown Royale. There's a bunch of different flavors. There's like peach and apple and shit, and then they've got the cocktails too. I'm just gonna review Crown Royale, the hard liquor in general. It's okay. I mean, it's just another sugary whiskey to me, pretty much. But like, you can make pretty good Jack and Cokes with it. Well, Jack and Coke with it. But beyond that, I mean, it's super sugary. It's kind of cheap, I guess. Like it's decently priced for a whiskey, but I think people just get it a lot for the packaging, because you feel like a king when you're riding around with that the royal purple pouch of Crown in your glove box. Like, yes, sire, roll out the red carpet when you step out of your Jeep. But Crown Royale, definitely better than Fireball as a whiskey. Definitely better than Jungle Juice, Four Loko, and Four Lokos in general. I'd say, just because I don't really like liquor that much unless I'm mixing it with something, I'm gonna put it on B tier behind the Twisted Tea. Next on this list, we have Svedka, and specifically the flavored Svedkas. Now, these, yes, they are loaded with sugar, but the flavors are solid, at least some of them. Like the blue raspberry and the cherry limeade ones are solid, and they're good for cocktails. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had a Svedka Baja Blast. It's where you just get a shot of blueberry or blue raspberry Svedka and then drop it in some Baja Blast. It's great. You can do that with cherry limeade too. I mean, you can just mix it in with regular Mountain Dew if you want. You can mix it in with pretty much anything. I mean, at the end of the day, it's vodka, so it doesn't really taste like a lot except for the flavorings. But, I mean, the flavorings in it add a little bit of an extra kick, a little bit of an extra punch into your cocktails. So I'm gonna put it at an S tier because of its versatility, its availability, and of course the taste. Next we have White Claws. Oh boy. You know, I don't think I've ever seen someone that wasn't a white woman in between the ages of 18 and 30 drinking these. I've had them a couple times. I mean, when I first tried it, I had to look at the can again to make sure that there was actually alcohol in it, because it tastes like sparkling water. It doesn't taste like alcohol at all, which is why I'm sure people like to drink them. But, I mean, you have some decent flavors in there. I mean, they have sugar in them, but definitely not as much as like a Four Loko does. And the ABV, I think, is around like 4 or 5%, so it's pretty close to just drinking beers. But I guess White Claw, kind of like a white girl thing, but they're okay. I'm not really a big seltzer fan. I'd have to put White Claws at B, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it behind Twisted Tea. I've probably only had like 10 or 15 White Claws in my life. I think I will put it behind Twisted Tea and still in front of Crown, just because I don't like liquor that much unless I'm mixing it with stuff. And for our next drink, we have Coors, which I guess, well, it's a picture of Coors, but I'm using it to represent beer in general. That doesn't mean Steel Reserve. Steel Reserve is different. Okay. I'm talking beers that are in between like 4 and 5.5% ABV, so like Ice House, Coors, Miller Lite, Bud Light, all those basic beers. You can't really go wrong with having beers. Like, you might not get shit-faced drunk, but I mean, they taste good, they're cheap, pretty much everyone will drink them. If you bring a case of beer to a frat party, no one's gonna be mad at you. But if you show up to a frat party with like a bottle of Jaeger and some little plastic shot cups, half the party's gonna be mad at you that you didn't bring Fireball, or that you didn't bring Four Lokos, etc., etc. But I mean, if you bring beer, everyone's happy, and everyone's will have a beer or two. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put beer at the top of S tier, just because of its versatility and because it's not liquor. Next, we have another seltzer that is called Truly. Truly seltzers. They're pretty close to White Claws. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the flavors are kind of like fruitier than White Claws, where White Claws have like the subtle taste, but Truly the flavor is kind of more in your face. But Truly's, I mean, it's just another basic seltzer. You know, like you got your berry flavors and what have you not. I do think they are better than Twisted Teas and White Claws, though. Not as good as Svedka, but I mean, still a solid choice. I'll put it in A tier. Now, last drink on this list, Monaco cocktails. These are, I think they're these 12-ounce cocktails that come in these little slim cans, and they're like 9% ABV for 12 ounces. And the big thing about Monaco's is you get 2 shots in each can. You get 2 shots in each can. That's what they say on the side. So apparently, like in a lot of Monaco's, it'll say like a shot of vodka, a shot of tequila, and then like blue raspberry flavoring, etc., etc. Or like maybe a shot of rum and a shot of vodka, and then like coffee cream liquor or some shit like that. Like there's just like liquor cocktails, and then they add other flavorings in there. And again, these are loaded with sugar, guys. Like, I wouldn't recommend having more than 2 or 3 of these in a night, or you're just gonna wake up with the worst hangover of your life. Like, you'll be going to work and throwing up all over the floor. But Monaco's, they're kind of similar to Four Locos in my book, just not as horrendous, and the hangovers aren't nearly as bad. Like, if you've ever had a Four Loko hangover before, it's like you wake up and it feels like a fucking Battle of Berlin is going on in your head. But Monaco's, they do taste pretty good. They do taste pretty good, even though they are super sugary. It's pretty much just the sugar that makes them taste good. Like, beyond that, there aren't really a whole lot of redeeming qualities. Like, the flavors are all artificial, pretty much, and it's just artificial flavorings and sugar. But I guess that's half the beverages on this list. For that reason, I'm going to put it in B tier, behind Twisted Tea, definitely in front of Crown, but I'm not sure if it's better than White Claw or not. I think I'm gonna put it behind White Claw, just because it tastes more artificial than White Claw does. Alrighty guys, that was the tier list today. Drop a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos. And let me know in the comments if you want to see any more tier lists. Peace.